When you live in a tiny apartment, especially one with an open-plan layout, every single piece of furniture has to work harder than it would in a larger home. You can't just throw in a giant sectional, a chunky dining table, and a desk. You'd end up with a cramped, cluttered space that feels more like a storage unit than a home. This is where nesting coffee tables quietly swoop in as absolute game changers. On the surface, they look like a stylish set of 2 or 3 little tables that slide neatly under each other. But the truth is, they're one of the most versatile tools you can use to make your apartment feel bigger, smarter, and more adaptable to daily life. Today, we're diving deep into 8 creative hacks for maximizing nesting coffee tables in an open-plan apartment. These aren't just quick tips, they're lifestyle upgrades. Design moves that can transform how your space feels and functions. And we'll walk through them one by one, imagining real scenarios, exploring different styles, and showing how something as simple as a set of tables can completely reshape tiny living. You've just tidied up your apartment, the dishes are done, and the sunlight is streaming through your windows. You want your space to feel open, breezy, and uncluttered. Here's where the nesting tables shine. Slide them together and suddenly, instead of 3 separate surfaces, you have one compact piece. In design terms, what you're doing is creating negative space. That's the empty floor area that makes a small apartment feel bigger. When the tables are stacked neatly, your floor plan opens up. You can move around freely, lay down a yoga mat for stretching, or simply enjoy that rare sense of spaciousness in a tiny home. This trick isn't just about aesthetics, it's about flexibility. Living in a small apartment means your space has to transform constantly. Sometimes it's your office, sometimes your lounge, sometimes your dining area. Having the option to clear the floor instantly with one sliding motion is like hitting a reset button. Styling tip: when stacked, treat the top table as your hero surface. Add a tray with a candle, a small stack of books, or even a decorative bowl. This way, even when the tables are tucked away, your living room looks intentional and styled, not just practical. Lifestyle angle: imagine a spontaneous living room workout, or your kids suddenly deciding they want to build a fort in the middle of the floor. With nesting tables, you don't have to drag heavy furniture around. Just slide, clear, and voila, you've got space to breathe. So yes, sometimes the smartest design hack isn't adding more. It's knowing how to hide and minimize. Now let's flip that scenario. It's Friday night, your friends are dropping by, and you're wondering how on earth you're going to fit everyone comfortably in your small apartment. You don't have a big dining table, and the thought of balancing drinks on your lap just feels messy. Enter the second superpower of nesting tables. Pull them apart. Suddenly, your single coffee table transforms into 2 or 3 satellite surfaces that you can spread across the room. One near the sofa for drinks, one by the armchair for snacks, another as a central spot for a board game. Instead of everyone crowding around a single small table, each person has their own convenient little zone. Designers love this hack because it creates a sense of flow and hospitality. The apartment feels more welcoming because the furniture adapts to the moment instead of forcing people into awkward arrangements. Styling it for guests is simple but effective. Before your friends arrive, pop a small tray on each table, one for drinks, one for chips or fruit, and maybe one for something decorative, like a candle or small vase. This makes the tables feel purposeful, not random. And the best part? When the night is over and you're ready for calm again, you just slide them back together. No folding chairs to stash, no bulky buffet table to lug around. Just instant flexibility. Think about it. In a big house, you might have a living room, a dining room, and a game room. In a tiny apartment, you have one space. But with nesting tables, you can still give your guests that same sense of comfort and organization. Here's the beauty of a nesting coffee table set. The smaller tables aren't locked into one roll. They can wander around your apartment, shape-shifting into side tables wherever you need them. Imagine you're curled up on your sofa with a cup of tea and your favorite book. Instead of leaning forward to reach the main coffee table, you can pull a smaller nesting table to your side. Suddenly, you have a personal tea stand. Later that night, when you're watching a movie, that same little table holds your popcorn bowl. And tomorrow, it might live next to your bed as a nightstand. In design terms, this is about micro-zoning, creating little functional zones within your open-plan apartment. It means you don't need to buy multiple side tables, nightstands, or accent tables. The nesting set handles it all, sliding effortlessly into each roll. Styling angle? Keep one or two side table essentials handy on a small tray, maybe a coaster, a small vase, or a candle. That way, when you move the table around, it doesn't feel bare or random. It feels styled and intentional wherever it lands. The secret here is portability. Nesting tables are light enough to move without effort, so you can reconfigure your space in seconds based on how you're living at that exact moment. One day it's a reading nook, the next it's a mini bedside, the next it's a snack table for a Netflix binge. In tiny apartment living, flexibility is power. And mobile side tables mean you get maximum value out of every square inch without committing to bulky, fixed furniture. Let's be real. One of the hardest parts of living in a small apartment is figuring out where to eat. A full-size dining table? Too big. A fold-down wall table? Clever, but not always practical. Eating on your lap? Fine sometimes, but not every day. This is where nesting tables can pull off something genius. The zone dining hack. Picture this. You and your partner are about to have dinner. Instead of crowding around one low coffee table, you pull out two nesting tables and spread them apart. Suddenly, you each have your own dining surface, side by side, like a casual cafe setup. It feels cozy and intentional, not cramped. Hosting a friend? Add a third table. Boom! You've got a dining zone that adapts to how many people are eating without taking up permanent space. From a design perspective, this hack is about scalability. Instead of a big static dining table, you've got a flexible system that grows and shrinks based on the occasion. Styling tip: treat each table like its own little dining station. Place mats, a simple candle, maybe a small plate of appetizers. This not only makes the setup functional, but also creates a sense of occasion. Even in a tiny apartment, dinner feels like an event, not just another couch meal. And when you're done, slide them back together. The dining room disappears, and your living room is back. This hack reminds us that in small space design, it's not about having every room. It's about having furniture that lets your one room become every room. Now let's talk about plants. Because let's be honest, no matter how tiny your apartment is, there's always room for a little greenery. Plants bring life, texture, and warmth into a space, but they also need surfaces. And when square footage is limited, giving up an entire table just to display a plant can feel like a luxury you can't afford. Enter the plant pedestal hack. Take the tallest nesting table and style it as a plant stand. Place a leafy statement plant, like a fiddle leaf fig, a monstera, or even a tall snake plant, on top. Suddenly, your plant isn't just decor, it's a sculptural moment in your apartment. The smaller tables? Slide them neatly underneath, waiting for when you need them again. From a design point of view, this is about vertical layering. By elevating your plant on the tall table, you're drawing the eye upward, which makes your apartment feel taller and more spacious. It's a subtle trick, but in small space design, subtle tricks are everything. Styling detail: pair the plant with a stylish pot, ceramic for a Japandi look, brass for a glam vibe, or woven rattan for bohemian charm. Add a floor lamp nearby, and suddenly that corner of your apartment feels like an intentional vignette, not just dead space. Lifestyle angle: plants also help improve air quality and boost mood. So by using your nesting table as a pedestal, you're not only saving space, you're creating a little pocket of wellness in your home. This hack is the perfect balance of functional plus decorative. Your nesting tables are still there when you need extra surfaces, but in the meantime, they're adding beauty to your daily life. Here's a scenario every studio apartment dweller knows well. Your bed is just a few feet from your living room. So do you buy a separate nightstand? Or do you figure out a clever way to make your existing furniture work harder? That's where the nightstand substitute hack comes in. One of the smaller nesting tables can easily double as a nightstand. Place it next to your bed, style it with a lamp, your phone charger, and maybe a small dish for jewelry. Suddenly, your sleeping area feels like it has its own identity, even if it's only a few steps from your sofa. And the best part? In the morning, when you want your living room back, you can slide the table out and tuck it back under the main coffee table. No need for bulky extra furniture. No commitment to a permanent piece that clutters your already limited space. Design perspective? This hack is about blurring boundaries in a smart way. In open-plan living, the trick isn't to pretend you have multiple rooms. It's to make furniture that can slip between zones without friction. A table that's a nightstand at night and a coffee table by day is the perfect example. Styling tip: keep your nightstand look minimal. A lamp, one book, maybe a candle. Too much clutter, and you'll feel like you're dragging your bedroom into your living room every morning. Lifestyle perk: this hack also works if you ever host overnight guests on your sofa bed. Just pull one of the smaller tables over, and they've got their own temporary nightstand too. Thoughtful and functional. In tiny living, every piece of furniture should be able to play multiple roles. Nesting tables nail that balance, and the nightstand. Here's a scenario every studio apartment dweller knows well. Your bed is just a few feet from your living room. So do you buy a separate nightstand? Or do you figure out a clever way to make your existing furniture work harder? That's where the nightstand substitute hack comes in. One of the smaller nesting tables can easily double as a nightstand. Place it next to your bed, style it with a lamp, your phone charger, and maybe a small dish for jewelry. Suddenly, your sleeping area feels like it has its own identity, even if it's only a few steps from your sofa. And the best part? In the morning, when you want your living room back, you can slide the table out and tuck it back under the main coffee table. No need for bulky extra furniture. No commitment to a permanent piece that clutters your already limited space. Design perspective? This hack is about blurring boundaries in a smart way. In open-plan living, the trick isn't to pretend you have multiple rooms. It's to make furniture that can slip between zones without friction. A table that's a nightstand at night and a coffee table by day is the perfect example. Styling tip: keep your nightstand look minimal. A lamp, one book, maybe a candle. Too much clutter, and you'll feel like you're dragging your bedroom into your living room every morning. Lifestyle perk: this hack also works if you ever host overnight guests on your sofa bed. Just pull one of the smaller tables over, and they've got their own temporary nightstand too. Thoughtful and functional. In tiny living, every piece of furniture should be able to play multiple roles. Nesting tables nail that balance, and the nightstand. If you've got kids, or even if nieces and nephews visit often, you know how quickly toys, crayons, and puzzles can take over a small apartment. And in an open-plan space, there's nowhere to hide. But here's where your nesting coffee tables save the day. They can become a compact kids zone. Pull out the smallest table, and suddenly you've got the perfect surface for coloring books, Legos, or even a quick afternoon snack. The height is often just right for little ones. It feels like the table was made for them. And when playtime is over, slide the table back under and watch the clutter disappear. Design-wise, this is about temporary containment. Instead of dedicating a whole corner of your apartment to bulky kids' furniture, you're creating a pop-up play station that appears when needed and vanishes when it's not. Styling tip: Keep a woven basket nearby for art supplies or toys. When the kids are done, everything goes back into the basket, and the table slides neatly back into place. The room feels tidy again in seconds. Lifestyle angle. This hack isn't just about function, it's about inclusion. Your child gets their own special zone within the main living space, so they're part of the action without scattering toys across the entire apartment. And let's be real, for parents, there's something magical about reclaiming your living room at the end of the day without feeling like you live in a toy store. Nesting tables make that possible. So there you have it, 8 ways that a simple set of nesting coffee tables can completely transform a tiny open-plan apartment. Slide them together to clear your floor and breathe. Pull them apart for guests and create instant hosting zones. Let them wander as mobile side tables or even double as dining spots. Style them as plant pedestals or layered decor. Turn them into a workstation, a nightstand, a kid's PlayStation, or even a buffet bar. That's the magic. They're not just tables, they're chameleons of small space living. If you're living in a compact apartment, don't underestimate how powerful smart furniture can be. Nesting tables aren't just about saving space, they're about unlocking possibilities. They let one open plan room feel like a living room, dining room, office, playroom, and event space, all without clutter. And that's the secret to great small space design. Not cramming in more, but choosing pieces that adapt, shift, and support your lifestyle.